You worked at VW, Audi, and the rest of it. Do German automobiles still have the magic they used to have in engineering?
Well, I believe they do. They play it, in different regions now. They probably have the strongest brand equity in China of any of the Western brands. But it's clear, they're becoming more of a commodity in the Western world.
They're a unit weapon for the president. They are countable as units. How does Germany, and for that matter, Brussels and Europe, how do they fight back on a president who counts autos as units, and they're evil from Germany?
Well, I think there's very little that the Germans can do on this one. I mean, they can argue as much as they want that they're net exporters from the US, which is a fact. But it's also a fact they're shipping about 650,000 units a year, mostly premium cars, from Europe to the US. And they're very vulnerable, right? If we're moving to a 25% worst-case tax situation, there are about 6 billion euros of profits at risk. So it's very, very severe what we're talking about.
Arndt, what's the biggest concern for actually the auto industry in Germany, but also in Europe as a whole? Is it CO2 regulation or is it tariffs coming from the US?
I think CO2 is even a bigger one because over time you can adjust your business model. You can manufacture more in the NAFTA region. You can add an engine plant to the US and so forth. But, the European emission regulation commanding 95 grams CO2 by 2020-21 and then moving down another almost 40% until 2030, that is completely transforming the value chain of how you manufacture a car. It's adding huge cost to car makers. There are potential fines looming in the next 2 years of about 33 billion euros. That's almost as much as the total net income from European car makers. So that transformation is the biggest transformation of any industry globally.